The real reason why Jimmy Johnson is not into the Ring of Honor is because he speaks the truth. Let's get right to it. Let's listen to this audio.
Jerry, he doesn't ever want to admit that he's wrong, and so he's going to hang with whoever, Jason Garrett or whoever, and try to make it work. And I think he really values the talent on that team such that he feels like McCarthy can be successful and he can improve, especially with Dan Quinn and with Kellen Moore, with the assistants that he's got. So that's a big thing. And Jerry is involved.
All right, so this is the thing right here. Jerry will not admit when he is wrong. And Jimmy is the type of guy that's going to be cut and dry. He's going to make sure that, hey, these are the things that you need to do. These are the things that we must improve on. I don't give a dog. And we've been missing this type of mentality, technically, since Parcells left. And I know Parcells have not been here for a long time. And a lot of people look at Parcells, some of the people who's not really deep into football, they look into Parcells and say, hey, he didn't have a successful time here as well. But when we look at it, it's only been two successful coaches for the Dallas Cowboys since Jerry Jones bought this team. Parcells, in my opinion, as far as development and everything. And on top of that, Jimmy Johnson. Those are the only two. Now, Jimmy didn't start off undefeated. He had his growing pains and warts and everything else, right? So when we look at Mike McCarthy, we can argue and say, well, he's a Super Bowl caliber coach, right? He won the Super Bowl, got a great winning record or winning percentage. But the problem, you got the meddling owner who like to have his influences all into the mix. And shout out to my guy, Big Game James. He was beating on the table about that for a minute now. But when we look at everything, Jimmy Johnson, he's so cut and dry. That's the reason why he's not in the Ring of Honor, because he talk a little too much and is on the negative side, but also it's the truth. And sometimes when you tell the truth, people appear to think that you are talking negative, but you only speaking the truth of the matter, right? Let's listen to more of the storyline of what Jimmy Johnson had to say as well about Troy Aikman to Jimmy, about Jerry Jones and the way he is now operating and holding things down as it relates to a general manager / owner. But let's listen to
kind of a funny story. See, Jerry really never came out to practice. He was always trying to pay the bills, trying to pay off that $140 million loan.
Right.
So, he was always working on that. And so the only time he came out to practice, my 5 years there, he would come out on the rubber track the last 15 minutes of practice so he could talk to the media. And so Troy Aikman tells the story. He said, after you left talking to me, he said, and Barry Switzer came on as coach. He said, I knew things had changed because our first practice, Jerry walked out on the practice field with a baseball hat and coaching shorts on. But Troy said, things are different.
Oh, my goodness. The truth. And the truth shall set you free. Troy was speaking the truth about that one, right? And when we look at everything and we contextualize what Troy Aikman is saying, basically, I know things change. And I love it because that's about the third time or fourth time I heard the storyline of, hey, the first 5 years, Jerry Jones was trying to make back the money that he lost, right? By purchasing the Dallas Cowboys, doing all of the marketing material, doing all of the exposure of the Cowboys, of saying, hey, look at this team right here, once known the America's team. Let me show you what this team can do under the right leadership and spotlight of marketing. And the Cowboys started to win. The program started to be built. And sometimes I would tell people, man, sit back, relax. The program is in process. It's not as easy as most people think. And this program, I can tell you guys right now that it's a difficult one. It's very difficult when you're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and especially when you're talking about the media attention and everything. But this was before all of the hype because the Cowboys have not done anything, right? But when they started to win, all of a sudden the credit started being handing out, right? And Jerry was like, hey, where's my credit? And that's when everything started to change, especially after 2 Super Bowl wins. The attention, the spotlights, and everything is on. It's pretty much on the organization. And what Jerry Jones did was remarkable as it relates to purchasing the team and figuring things out and going out there and getting Jimmy Johnson. But the problem, collectively speaking, the problem is that he didn't get any of the credit as it relates to the coaching aspect of it or for the building of the team. He wanted all. And that's when Jerry Jones said, I can find 500 other coaches to coach this team and win the Super Bowl. And sometimes, Cowboy Nation, your success can be your failure because how you got it can also cover up how you really earned it. And this is the thing. He didn't earn it. It was all Jimmy Johnson players. And Jimmy Johnson players said they had to win in spite of the coaching. Now, I would tell you guys, not to sully Barry Switzer. I think that he's a wonderful guy. Met him twice. But I'm going to tell you, he started off with the Cowboys. Hear me out before y'all pull out the butter knife to try to shank me with it. He started off with the Cowboys 12-4. Then he went 10-6 and 6-10, and he was given the axe, right? The truth of the matter is, everybody knew that this team changed. All right, so my guy, Space Cowboy, man, appreciate him. He got a tweet out there that I'm going to read over right quick. Troy Aikman said, hey, the Cowboys are just as good as the Jets and the Jags. And it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But my guy, Space Cowboy, Ricardo, that's his government name, he went and did the research. Since 1996, the regular season, the Cowboys won 220 games, lost 197 games, right? And that's 13 winning seasons. That's 8 losing seasons. Hey, that ain't bad. 8 losing seasons, since 1996, not bad, right? Now the New York Jets, 184 wins, 233 losses, right? But within that confines, that's 11 wins, 11 winning seasons, 12 losing seasons. That's terrible, right? All right, so the Jags. The Jacksonville Jaguars, 176 winning games or games that won, 246 games that's lost. 8 winning seasons, 17 losing seasons. But here's the cookie, Cowboy Nation, and everybody that's listening. Playoffs. Yeah, we talking about playoffs. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 7-7 in their stretch of time. They won 7 playoff games. And that's pretty remarkable from a Cowboy standpoint. And the New York Jets, they won 7. They won 7, and they lost 7 playoff games. But our almighty Cowboys, since 1996, we are 4-11. 4-11. Won 4 playoff games and lost all 11 of them. Conference champion appearance. You know what I'm saying? That's how you really want to grade this thing. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they've been to 3 of them. The Jets been to 3. The Dallas Cowboys holding a big old goose egg. They holding a big old goose egg up. And this is the craziest thing of it all. I know we're going to go back and forth talking about this and that, but the reality of it, Cowboy Nation, is one thing I can tell you guys, that everybody that we have on this team now was not on this team since 1996, right? But there are 2 guys that's operating and controlling this team, been here since 1996, and that's Jerry and son, right? But, we've been going back and forth talking about, what Jimmy Johnson would do. Well, Jimmy Johnson was also asked about, hey, this Ezekiel Elliott situation and scenario, what would happen if you were pretty much the coach? How do you overcome that? Because there were some times that the backup running back looked better. But let's listen to what my guy, Jimmy Johnson, how he would have handled that.
What do you do with Zeke?
Yeah, I think with his contract, it's going to be difficult to deal him. It's going to be difficult to release him. And they've got to live with him. But you're right. Pollard was a better running back most weeks this year.
He would have started Tony Pollard, knowing Jimmy Johnson. And I'm not making this a versus battle. I'm looking at it like that PCL tear. And I'm looking at Jimmy. And Jimmy would have looked Ezekiel Elliott in the eyes and said, hey, I appreciate the Warriors mentality, but the PCL tear side of the field is over there. We're trying to win football games. I love what you're doing, but we need you in the playoff, baby. There's nothing wrong with telling your $90 million running back that. There's nothing wrong with that. And that whole situation with Dak Prescott up and down after the injury, he would have chin-checked Dak Prescott too. Let's not leave him unscathed. Right? Jimmy was a Warriors mentality of a coach. Now that's the Warrior mentality that we need. Somebody that will hold these players accountable. And that was one of the things that Dave Wanstead was speaking about, and I'm going to pull some clips together so that you guys can hear that when he was talking about even Jimmy coached Troy Aikman hard, right? And Troy knew it, right? When he saw that the way that they were operating training camp and how the start of the season was so lackadaisy, he was messed up. He was angry and mad at the world because he know what it take to be a champion. And being lackadaisy wasn't the answer. All right, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns, but that is the real reason why Jimmy is not in the Ring of Honor, because he speak his mind, and he's cut and dry, and he would tell the truth, although it may appear to be negative, but it's the truth. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys.